Population 525. And this is St. Louis, Missouri, and the distance by air is 420 miles. That's 3 hours flying time. This morning you're going to meet a man named Smith who's trying to get from Arkansas to Missouri by way of Florida. And this is Mrs. Carolyn Smith, 23 years old, the mother of 2 charming daughters, and the wife of a professional baseball player. Now, if you read the sport pages, and I'm sure many of you do read them, you will know that the baseball training season is upon us and that the teams have started all their spring training. And I suppose many boys have the dream that they are going to be baseball players, but really only a few of those dreams come true. And this morning we're going to talk to a young lady who is sincerely hoping that this dream comes true. Right now, Hal is in the very crucial position of trying to make the grade, isn't he, Carolyn?
Yes, he is.
And you're pretty excited about it, and I'm sure he must be.
I certainly am, Arlene.
Carolyn, what will it mean to you as a family if Hal does make the team, the St. Louis Cardinal?
Well, it'll mean we'll be moving to St. Louis, and it'll mean a dream come true for Hal and I both, because ever since we've been married, that's all we've been dreaming about is for him to make the big leagues.
How does it happen, Carolyn, that you aren't down in Florida with Hal?
Well, it's pretty expensive, Arlene, and I have 2 children, so I figure it'd be better for me to stay home and let them visit with their grandparents, and let Hal go down by himself and concentrate on baseball alone.
You feel he'd be split if you were there. He'd have to concentrate on you and the children, too. You know, you're 23, is that right,
yes.
Carolyn? How old is your husband?
He's 24.
And how long has he been a professional ball player?
7 years.
7 years. My goodness. He started very young. I guess a lot of good ball players start very young, don't
yes, they do.
How did you and Hal meet, Carolyn?
We met in high school.
And was it love at first sight?
I would say so.
How long have you been married?
6 years.
Now, I know you have children. Is it 2 children?
2, 2 sweet little girls.
Are these their pictures right here?
Yes,
Oh, what heaven. I tell you what, we'll show them in just a minute. First, a little bit more about you. Are you a baseball fan, Carolyn?
Well, I am now.
You are now. Does that mean that there was a time when you weren't?
When I married Hal, I didn't know anything about baseball.
Not until you and Hal got married
That's
did you
right.
discover the excitement of it, and it certainly is exciting. Does he talk about his work at all, talk baseball with you?
Yes. Usually when he comes home at night, we go over the ball game.
You do?
Yes.
A baseball player leads a pretty nomadic life, actually, I've always heard, and in the 6 years of, is that right, 6 years of your marriage, you really haven't had a chance to settle down quite, have you?
No, we haven't, Arlene. We've lived all the way from Canada to Omaha, Nebraska, and Houston, Texas.
You've really traveled the country,
yes,
haven't you?
we have.
You hope to settle in St. Louis, is that it?
I certainly hope so.
Well, now, is Hal's picture here?
No, I didn't have one.
Oh, we don't have a picture of Hal. What a shame. You and the children must miss him a great deal, I'm sure,
we
don't
certainly do, Arlene.
Does he write to you every day?
Yes, every day. He doesn't say too much, though, about what he's doing. I'd give anything to be down there to be with him and see everything that he is doing, his training and all.
You would, huh?
Yes.
But he just writes and tells you he loves you and that everything's all right, and that's the important part. Carolyn, that's why we really brought you here this morning, because you would like to see him. And we want our viewers to get a better idea of what it's like for your husband to be at work. So with the help of our home camera crew, Hal has sent you a not a sport film, but a sort of a letter on film. Oh. And we're going to see it, I think, right now. There.
Hi, Carolyn. Hope you and the kids are okay. And I sure wish you could be down there with me enjoying this nice weather we're having. You remember those fingers I got hurt in Omaha 2 years ago? Well, I think they're going to be okay. They haven't been giving me any trouble so far. And I think I got a little bad news for you. You know, my hair keeps falling out on top. Well, the trainer says that the cap cuts all the circulation off in the top of my head, and that's what's causing it. I sure am glad to get a chance to show you what we're doing down here, because I know how interested you are. So if you'll just follow me around, I'll try to show you what goes on. Well, we're staying at the Bainbridge Hotel again this year. That's the headquarters of the Cardinal. They've been staying here ever since they've been down here, I guess. We have a very nice room, have some nice comfortable beds, and you can, it overlooks the bay out here. It's a very nice view. My roommate again this spring is Don Blasingame, and I know you remember him because he played shortstop at Houston 2 years ago with us. And he said to tell you hello and hope the kids are just fine. We usually eat breakfast downstairs here at the hotel in the dining room. This morning I had the honor of eating with Stan Musial, or at least there was a picture of him over the table. We get $6 a day to eat on, so we do eat pretty good. We usually leave the hotel about 9:30 and walk over to the ballpark. It's only a short distance, about 2 or 3 blocks. We have to be dressed by 10 o'clock so that we can be ready to work out at that time. The ballpark is right by the bay. Very nice scenery all around. While we're getting dressed, the 2 clubhouse boys carry out all the equipment, all the catching equipment and a few of the bats. So all we have to do after we get dressed is go out and loosen up the kinks a little bit. And the best way they find to do that is by making us run. So we have to run for about 15 or 20 minutes. And you'll probably notice too that we walk one way and run the other. And you're probably wondering why we do that, but I don't know. It's just the way the Cardinals do it. Freddie Hutchinson, our new manager this year, had me catch for him while he was working some of the pitchers out on a play that where they have to cover first base. This is a very tricky play for a pitcher and a first baseman because a lot of times they get all crossed up and they don't know which one's supposed to take it. So I guess it's better to get these things worked out before the season starts. After we got through working with the pitchers, Mike Reba and Walker Cooper called all the catchers down and had us catch a few pop-ups. You know this is one of the toughest plays for a catcher to make because that ball goes up so high sometimes it looks like it never is going to come down. And a lot of times the wind carries the ball in different directions and the catcher gets turning around and gets kind of dizzy sometimes, wait for it to come down. So it is a tough play. You know Mike Reba from last summer because he was our manager down in Houston. And I would like for you to meet Walker Cooper one of these days because he is one of the great catchers of the game and I've always respected him. And he's really a big guy. The one thing that the players like best in spring training is batting practice. But there's always someone that has to do all the work, and that's the pitcher and the catcher. And I was lucky enough today to be elected the first catcher. The shin guards still feel a little awkward, but I think after I wear them a few days that they'll get to feeling pretty good, and I won't even know I've got them on. But the one nice thing about the catching batting practice is you don't have to take all this stuff off after every inning like you do in a ball game. And you'll notice that I keep my right hand behind me most of the time so that I won't get it hit during batting practice. But in a regular ball game, you know that we catch with both hands. Mr. Arlene was out to watch practice today. The field here was named after him, and he's out here quite a bit. Now's the time of the day that I've been waiting for, and the time that I like the best, just like all the rest of the players. It comes my time to hit and let somebody else chase him for a while. I've been working on the things that Dixie Walker taught me down in Houston 2 years ago, and I hope I can keep improving like I have the last 2 years. I mentioned Walker Cooper before, and you know he was one of the greatest catchers in the game, and also he's one of the greater hitters. And he's been working with me and watching me hit, and he's kind of taken up where Dixie left off, and he sure has given me a lot of corners that have helped me. Well, it's about 1:30 now, and this is usually the time that we stop the workout. And I'll tell you, after a good day's workout, and when you're real tired, there's nothing that feels any better than that nice warm shower after the workout. After the ball game, we usually go eat, or a bunch of us get together and go eat. And then after we get through there, we usually sit around the hotel and just talk. And it seems that this time of the day is when I get to missing you and the kids the most. That's when I like to have you down. But since there's not anything to do here much in St. Petersburg, we can't go out and go swimming because the manager and the Cardinals don't like for the players to go out. They're afraid they'll get too tired or maybe even drown. You can only listen to those ball players talk for just so long, and then you finally get tired of listening to all those lies they tell. So I finally decided to get up and go downtown and see if I could find a movie that I hadn't seen. But it seems that I've seen all of them. There isn't much to do here in town, so I thought I'd walk back to the hotel and maybe have dinner and then go up and read a while and then go to bed. Well, I think that about covers the day. You've seen just about what all goes on down here. I do want to say that I really miss you and the kids, and I'm sure anxious to see you. Give my love to the kids, and we'll be seeing you before long.
How about that? Was that exciting for you?
Oh, it was. I enjoyed it.
Of course you enjoy it. Well, now you've seen Hal and you've seen Carolyn, so I want to show you the pictures and you decide for which one these darling girls look like. Would you tell us which is which and what their names are?
This is Sandra. She's 4.5.
She's 4.5 and she's just beautiful.
Thank
and this
you.
one?
And this is Sharon. She's 19 months old.
Well, I'm sorry you couldn't bring both these adorable children with you. And it's your first trip to New York, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
And your first airplane ride.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you had a real first today. Your first trip to New York and your first ride in the air. And it looks maybe as though you'll be taking another trip, too, and that will be to St. Louis, Carolyn. And maybe we're going to be reading all about Hal in our sport pages this summer. I hope so.
I hope so, Arlene.